Hey Taha,
Hi. Hi,
thanks
Jenny.
so much for joining us. How's your day going in the south of France?
Hi. Yes, I'm in France. It's the end of the year here, of the day, sorry. 6 p.m. In Lyon, in city in France.
I'm jealous of all those things, the south of France and the end of the day.
I understand.
Well, if we have any guests here who are willing to share your location or your time zone, please comment in the chat. And if you have any questions for Taha as we go through the podcast, feel free to comment as well. I'll just start with a quick intro. I'm Jay Z. The goal of this founder design thinking podcast is to find unicorn founders like ourselves who put the customer first. I also take companies from 0 to 1, offer advising, and now I have a suite of software tools for creativity, business opportunity mapping, and note taking. But the focus of this podcast will be on Taha and his really amazing AI aggregator platform. So, Taha, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm Tam, the CEO of Edenai. Um, I am an engineer. I started with my co-founder first as with a consulting firm, data science and AI consulting firm, and then working with our clients, we come up with the idea of Eden AI because we had to help our customers um, start using different AI APIs, and we had this idea of this universal AI API, which aggregates all the different AI APIs available on the market. I can, yes,
Yeah, please show us a demo or tell us more.
yes, maybe the easiest way to understand what we are doing is if I show a demo of the platform. I'm going to share my screen right now. So, can you see my screen?
Yes, let me put that
Perfect.
onto the stream. There we
Perfect.
go.
Okay, so here's Eden AI. We have a platform which is available for everyone. You can subscribe directly on our website and start using the platform. For information, we reached 10,000 users of the platform 2 weeks ago. Well, basically, we are.
Wow,
Uh,
amazing. Congrats.
thanks for that. We are tackling multiple um, types of AI. So basically, we are working on text analysis, speech recognition, document parsing, translation, image and video recognition, but also working on a generative AI. So maybe first I can show you a quick demo of how it would work for, let's say, object detection. For object detection, you have multiple providers of object detection service available through an API. So here first we are going to run an example. Let's say that I want to see how Clarify, Amazon, and let's say Microsoft can process and extract information from an image. I'm going to launch this. Here you can see that the three different providers can detect multiple things. For example, here Microsoft only detect like one big show store. Um, Amazon AWS or can detect a person, the glass, the handbag, and Clarify can detect a lot of things. Here, all the list with the position of each object, and basically we provide one standardized API that our users can directly integrate in their code, and they can switch from a provider to another very quickly. We are, of course, showing the price of each provider, and we are also offering for the no coders the possibility to use directly Eden AI on their platform. For example, we are offering multiple plugins for Bubble. So you can use directly this service on Bubble. We have ready to use templates and plugins, but the same go for Zapier. We have a connector on Zapier and Make, which is another automation no code platform. So you can use all this service. You can do another test. Let's
Oh,
say, for example,
let me ask you a question. Sorry to
yes.
interrupt you. So,
Mhm.
this image of this woman in this orange pantsuit is from my creativity product, Do the
Mhm.
Rainbow, where people post a different color each day. And so, as creators and influencers post, they get really tired of having to like at mention the brand name or describe like what they're wearing. So does this last one with the most data, does it recognize brands, or can you just read out some of the objects that it's detecting?
Uh, Basically, it's a lot of footwear. If you want to recognize very specific objects, probably you will need to train specific model. What you
Hmm.
can also use, which is available, is logo detection. But in this case, you really need to have the logo that you can clearly see it on the image. But you can use directly. I think the best way to do it would be having like specific train model if you want to recognize specific objects.
I see. So there aren't any public models now that recognize brands other than like a very specific like Louis Vuitton that's like huge on a bag or something like that.
I don't think so. I
Okay.
think that for the moment you need to train our model, but probably I don't know in fact if it exists, but if we're probably going to add it if we find such solution.
Okay. All right. And then in the audience, I think Coco, you had a great question that you wanted to ask the models. So, Coco, do you want to type in your question in the comments, or anyone else have any questions you want to ask Taha to demonstrate? We'll give it a couple of seconds. And Taha, if you want to demonstrate the one that we wrote out or another one, please go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Yes. Also, you can do the same for, let's say, for text generation, which is another type of service. Here, for example, you can. Sorry, let me find it again. Uh, Here for generative AI, we can use text generation. Everyone know about OpenAI, but in fact there are other providers. Here, for example, we are going to compare Cohere and OpenAI. Here's my prompt: how to determine the industry and target audience to find my ideal paying customer to invite them to a design thinking session. And let's compare Cohere and OpenAI. We are going to get where we will have two different answers from the two different providers of the service. It can take some time depending on each provider. What you can do also
Yeah, go
here
ahead.
is to the specific model you want. But here we are taking the one by default, and here you have the two different answers from Cohere and from OpenAI. And of course, you have to read it, understand, and check if it's with you. But what we are doing also with Edenai, that we are showing the different prices, and the same thing you can already use this technology on with the connectors we are offering. Yeah, maybe you have question.
Yeah, do you mind reading out one of those responses?
Yes, let's read the one from OpenAI. Research the industry. Start by researching the industry you are targeting. Look at industry trends, customer needs, and the competitive landscape. This will help you identify the target audience and the ideal paying customer. Identify the target audience. Once you have identified the industry, you can start to identify. It doesn't look that very it's not very smart answer, in fact, but it's very generic answer, I suppose. But it's automated generated, so it's automatically generated, so quite impressive.
Yeah, I'm going to type in a different version of this question. Do you mind putting that into your platform, Taha?
Yes.
Okay. And then anyone else in the audience, Coco, Michael, if you have any other prompts that Taha can search for you. So Taha, I'm going to put in the chat. What is the top industry that pays design thinking facilitators? That forces an answer that's like, picking the top kind of category.
Let's do the same here. We can prompt here. Maybe I'm going to ask for shorter answers, and let's launch that again. Oh, so for Cohere, the top industry that paid is the technology industry. We have very short answer from Cohere. For OpenAI, the top industry that paid is the technology industry. The same answer, basically. Companies like Google, Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon are known to hire your design thinking facilitator to help them develop innovative products and services. We can try to have like longer answer. Right now I have only an answer from Cohere. I will try again for OpenAI, but from Cohere. In fact, I got the same industry, the same answer. Sorry, it's about technology industry.
So that was for the original question, and you just changed the length of the answer?
Sorry?
Which question is this? The original question? Which industries?
Here the question I put was is what is the top industry that pays design thinking facilitators?
Oh, okay. Sorry. It's a little hard for me to see. But that's awesome that it actually gave you an answer, because the first question was more generic. So it gave a
Yes.
really generic answer.
And here, yes, I got directly the right, like the direct answer. It's the technology industry for both of them.
Wow. I love that,
Wait, let
because,
me.
as people are just starting out with AI, it's really unclear which backend to use. And so you put them all together for us.
Exactly, it's our job. Basically, we are checking every day the new ready-to-use AI APIs. We are testing them, and we are like building this AI standard for everyone. What we allows also is what we offer is the fact that you don't have to subscribe to each provider. We are partnering with all these providers, so we are resellers of these services. But if you want to, you can use your own API key here. You can just put your credentials and have your own use your own accounts. Let's say if you have like free credits from AWS or Google or wherever, you can also use them. The last thing I would like to highlight is the fact that with Edenai you can check all your costs. So you can check how much you are paying for text generation, object detection, and also how much you are paying for Google, AWS, Microsoft, etc. I think that's all for the demo. I don't know if there are questions about the product, but what I suggest is that everyone can just directly create an account, check our website, and you can then test by yourself the product. And if you have any feedback to share with us, of course, we are going to to include it in our roadmap.
Yeah, those, in the audience, feel free to comment other prompts. But I'll just read a comment that Coco wrote, which is, I love this, the ability to compare multiple AI platforms.
Thank you for that.
Let's move on to the questions for the podcast then. What's the most surprising thing that has happened in one of your design thinking or user community sessions, something that you didn't expect?
So yes, maybe first let me tell a little bit about how we are building the product. So we launched Discord for Edenai, and you have a lot of users who are suggesting new features like every day. Right now, our job is mostly about how to prioritize all this. So, with my co-founder Sami and Jeremy, one of our member of our team, we are organizing like uh, team meeting twice a month, and it's our design thinking sessions, and basically each one of us is like getting feedbacks from different channel. For instance, Sami is working on our chat on the platform. I am checking the message we got through our website, and Jeremy is checking Discord and also some people who are like directly booking calls. So we are gathering all these feedbacks, and each 2 weeks deciding which are the features we are going to develop first. And what we noticed at the beginning, we didn't have a lot of users, so um, we had first to we start developing things, and without having very clear idea about if this will be helpful. But right now, since we have a large base of users, we noticed that basically we already the three of us already know uh, what we have to build first, because we are having exactly the same feedback from everyone. So it's more obvious what we really need on the platform. For instance, something we added is the thing that is the possibility to add your own API keys. This feedback we had because we have a lot of our users who already have accounts from Google, AWS, or wherever with free credits. So basically, they wanted to use them on the platform. And the thing is that when your product the number of users grows, you will probably it will be easier. It's the thing that we are like um, uh, the thing that we noticed basically during this design thinking sessions.
That's amazing. I think most startups are founded by developers and they don't always or often use the customer input. So, what has, you've created this whole process and you're always aligned because your customers seem to be saying the same things. So, I'm
Mhm.
curious, is there anything that's been really surprising that you didn't expect your customers to say? Is that the API key part that you're talking about now?
Yes, in fact, yes, a very technical thing. At the beginning, we were really focusing on this abstraction layer on our API, and we didn't consider the fact that a lot of our users would really enjoy the fact that they don't have to subscribe to multiple providers. It's like a part of our value proposition. Probably as developers and engineers ourselves, we were really focusing about the API. But what some of our users love about Edenai is the fact that you don't have to create an account um, on OpenAI, AWS. We have almost more than 40 AI partners right now, and it's something we didn't because I didn't tell you at the beginning, but we launched our service 1 year ago, and 1 year ago it wasn't something that we were talking about. Having all this um, like the reseller program we are offering, and it's for us it was quite surprising because we didn't thought about this at the beginning.
Yeah, I think this is maybe a different persona. So tell me about, these paying customers that you have. Are they already in the AI space, like they have their own API contracts? Uh, or how, Michael's asking, how would you describe your most active users right now?
Yes, we have two type of users basically. The first one are people building softwares and digital products. Even like they can be developers or no coders using Bubble or this type of solutions, and they need to integrate AI capabilities in their service, and they don't want to use only one provider. So they start using Eden AI because they know that they can change provider when they want. Be they can be very they have all the flexibility they need. The second type of users are mainly companies which are like automating tasks, internal tasks, using Zapier Make. For example, if you need to process receipts and invoices, for example, if you need to process resumes that for HRs, this type of service. We have like people, I mean, companies automating tasks or people building softwares. It's the two type of users we have right now.
I see. And so which of those users wants to bring their own API key?
It can be both. Basically, when you have like, usually you have like main cloud provider, let's say Microsoft, Google, or Amazon, and usually you have free credits or and you in this you probably would like to use them on Eden AI, so that you don't pay for it if you already have free credits.
Oh, so these companies are on a trial account with the models and they want to bring those trial credits to your
Yes,
platform.
exactly. In fact, no, because sometimes if you are a startup, for example, you will have a startup program from AWS or Google or Microsoft, which offers like free credits to use on the, let's say, Google services. And if you want to use AI Google services on Eden AI, since you can do it for free, you probably would like to have your own API key from Google on Edenai.
Since I'm
So
a
you don't pay for the Google part of your AI usage.
since I'm a potential client of yours, like what is the
Mhm.
price comparison if I run out of my Google free credits and then I start paying Google? Is your Eden AI platform a similar price or double the price of using one compared to
Yes.
using one?
So our yes about in general about our business model, we have basically we are making money with the providers because we are aggregating a larger and larger volumes of processing. So we are charging the same price as the providers. So we are not going to pay more. I mean, for the API calls, because on our side we are negotiating directly with the providers, and we are paying them less than our user. Uh, this is the first the current version of Edenai. We are going to offer advanced features in the next weeks and next months And in this case, we will charge a license for the usage, for the use of Edenai. But for the API calls part, our users are paying the same price if they are using them directly on Edenai or on the providers, directly using the provider's APIs.
I see. So in your demo, you show that there's a list of what the prices are in terms of the data return from each model. So then you would charge me what Google charged you, what Amazon charged you, what Microsoft charged you. And then
But
go ahead.
Since we are aggregating larger volume than you will do, we are getting Google is charging us less. And in fact, it's public. If you go on the Google website or Amazon website, you can see by yourself that if you reach high volumes of processing, you are going to pay less. So basically, we are aggregating all the usage of all our users to get these lower prices. But for you, since you are processing low volume of data, you are going to pay the same price.
I see. So because you have a bulk discount, you have like a lower price negotiated
Exactly.
with the model,
Exactly.
then you can
Exactly.
charge your customers a lower price as well.
Exactly.
Interesting. Wow. So much scale is benefiting your customers.
Exactly.
Well, I think we're kind of past the midpoint, so I have some questions, like in terms of, do you have any advice for technical founders who don't usually use user research or design thinking? Maybe they have a piece of code and they don't have a user yet. Like any advice that you have for technical founders who haven't really started looking at what their users say?
Basically, the main is don't code anything if you are not sure that anyone is going to use it. We used to have a lot of articles and blog posts about features we don't have, like the famous "fake it till you make it," and we started because right now we have more than 40 AI tasks available on the platform. What we did first is writing articles as if we already have them. And when we saw that there were people asking for this type of services, in this case, we started uh, developing them like on the platform.
I
So
see.
the
Good.
try because our we are in fact this works because we are getting our users only with blog posts with inbound marketing strategy. In our case, we are not contacting anyone. We are just and in our case, we are in our blog post we are listing, let's say, machine translation, which is one of the AI technologies we are working on. Basically, we are listing the different providers of machine translation, and we are comparing them. And with these articles, people are coming on like Edenai. So what we did first is that we compared multiple providers without having the aggregation of this service. And when we saw that people were interested in this case, we started working on this new category on Edenai.
I see. Yeah, I've talked to a couple of AI founders who use marketing and writing as a way to like suss out demand. So you're saying you wrote an article, a blog post, and then if people commented or liked or reposted, then you would code the feature.
Exactly. It's basically what we are doing.
Very cool. I think that's much faster than like making a prototype or even designing anything, right? Because marketing uh, is just a, I mean, you could even generate the post with,
With OpenAI, yes, of course.
yeah.
It can be even
And
faster right now.
yeah, it's even faster and you don't need to recruit users. You just have different blog posts and see,
Mm.
who is reading it. That's really interesting. I think my next guest is actually going to talk about this heat testing, like making little websites. But to your point, you can just make some articles on LinkedIn and see if people
Mm.
comment or engage.
Exactly.
Okay. And then I think the last question, unless people in the audience have any questions, do you have any questions for this community, like community of founders who design think? How can we help you?
Yes, in fact, I was wondering what could be like the right book or a video to, because basically I have the feeling that for the design thinking part we are like learning by doing
Mm-hmm.
in my team. So probably we would need some real method or something like. Uh, so I was wondering which can be like the first book to read to improve our process.
Oh, yeah. So there's the Google Design Sprint. It's usually a week. Every day you do a
Mhm.
different activity. And for companies, realistically, they do one activity, I would say, each week. So instead of like
Mhm.
doing the sprint in 5 days, they'll do it in 5 weeks. And so week one is about empathy, research, like asking your customers what kind of problems they have. Before they give you solutions on Discord, it's like, do you have problems with uh, picking the right data after you have all the data sets? Do you have problems with, you know, figuring out if you're going to pay for the short term or long term? That's the first week. And then the second week, you can do ideation, like what are some of the solutions? And sometimes your customers already gave you the solution. Other times your team will want to have other solutions or combine different parts of the roadmap. And then let's say the third week you do validation, so you do usability testing, more of that like blog posting, just to see who's reacting. Uh, Sometimes in between there's like a week where you're evaluating which prototype to even start with, or you do the evaluation after, like, oh, we're going to pick these top three. And then week 5 can be like communicating to board members, investors, stakeholders, this is our new roadmap. So I can definitely share more, but I think that process of breaking it down in a repeatable way that people can know, like, this is week 1 or this is day 1, we're going to do this today, not do these other things, or not pick a solution until we have all the likes and comments in, or we reach like at least 50 likes on a blog post. Like, those make people more sane and like trust the process so that they don't feel
Mhm.
so arbitrary.
Okay, okay, very very clear.
Yeah, I can share that with you and others in the community. I think Google has done a really great way of like publicizing how they operationalize design thinking uh, to the public. So yeah, I love that process. And if you have any feedback on how that goes, or if you want any advice on how to implement that into your current process, because you do it twice a month
Mm.
already, be happy to
Mm.
help out as well.
Mm. Okay.
um, I think we're gonna close. So anything you want to have users go test out on your platform, or any launches coming up, any news you want to share?
Yes, maybe one thing we added on the platform a solution called Eden Copilot. Basically, it's feature when you can like describe an AI project, and we are going to suggest the right AI to use. So it's feature we launched last week. So if there are users who are interested in testing it and giving us some feedback, will be very nice. They can also join our Discord if to discuss um, about AI or so. The two things: Discord and this new Eden Copilot feature.
So the Copilot feature is if you don't know which model to use.
Exactly.
Okay. And so you just have a general question, and then the Copilot will tell you, oh, you should use this object detection instead of this text.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Very cool.
This.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Taha, for sharing your demo and making a company that's so user-focused, yet at the very bleeding edge of technology.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone, for attending. And the next one will be next week about this heat mapping that Taha is already an expert at. But I think for a lot of us in the design community, we think about user testing and prototyping, which is very expensive and long. And this kind of marketing, blogging, article writing is very, very short and very effective. So that podcast next week will be with Dan Blumberg from Atrium Consulting, and he'll tell us more about that heat mapping. All right. Well, I'm going to end the broadcast. Let's stay on the line and we can talk about next steps.
Perfect.
Thanks, everyone. See you at the next one.